Hello, everybody. I am Greg Morano, and we are Westerly live here at Federico Gymnasium for tonight's girls volleyball matchup. Central Falls has come down to our home location. We are starting with the JV matchup. Central Falls was a little late to arrive, but quick to warm up, and we are going to get started momentarily. It is senior night following the JV game. Our lone senior, Alexa Beal, and it is a rematch from an earlier season victory by our Bulldogs over Central Falls, which happens to be their lone loss of the season. As far as JV players, we have number 2, Emily Britton, number 24, Emma Caracciolo, number 15, Sofia Martino, number 4, Mariana Mancini, number 1, Lily Vedolino, number 5, Kaylee Lamb, number 7, Sid Hake, number 17, Julia Gincarelli, number 25, Elena Fazaro, and number 26, Meg Cavallo. We'll be working with numbers on the Central Falls Warriors side of things, as JV roster was unattainable. The official is going over final instructions as both teams have taken the court. And Central Falls will serve, number 15. And we are ready to get into some action here. Thursday night in Westerly. Again, we are Westerly Live. That is westerlylive.com. All Westerly sports all the time. First serve of the game, back row bump by Westerly. Set. And the spike attempt is set by Central Falls. And they push it back to the back corner. And it looks like it is out of bounds. And it'll be Westerly's first point. Side out, and Westerly will take over serve. Starting for the day, it looks like Sophie. We have Central Falls serving again. That must have been inbounds, correct. Correction. And Westerly's going to have to dump it over. Central Falls setting in the net. Number 35 finds an open spot, but hits the net. Westerly hits the net. That's going to be a Central Falls point again. 2-0 Central Falls. Number 15 looking for her third straight point to open the game. Westerly in a 3-2-1 defense, a little different than what their varsity runs. And it's hard and deep and handled by the deep end. Westerly set, a little too far over the net and out of bounds. Point goes to Central Falls. And number 15 looking for 4 in a row. Westerly comes out back with the 3-2-1. All the services so far have been handled by the deep man for Westerly. And this is a missile into the net, Westerly's first point. And more importantly, a side out and service change. There is a substitution for Westerly as Lily Vedolino takes a break. And the serve for Westerly, handled by number 12, set by number 10 to number 35, who dumps it over. Westerly with a bump. And a dink that is handled and blocked. Juggling by the net and can't be handled by Central Falls. Very sloppy on both ends there, but they did hold the ball in the air quite a bit. Point goes to Westerly, makes the score 3-2. And the overhand serve, beauty. With the front spin, it is double hit by Central Falls and an ace for Westerly. Mariana Mancini's in service for Westerly, looking for a 5th straight point. And another good serve in the middle of the set. And number 10 dumps it over for Central Falls, number 4. And we have a bump set. And the soft drop in is dug out by Central Falls, set at the net. Almost blocked by Westerly. Pushed over by Central Falls. A nice hit by Westerly. Dumped back over by Central Falls. Westerly set up Central Falls with that hit, but is able to dig it out and find an open spot on the floor by Central Falls. Westerly playing far more fundamental at the moment. Central Falls just seems to be trying to return it whenever possible, not getting into much of an offense. Credit to Westerly, looking for her 6th straight point. The serve inbounds, most important thing. Central Falls has a tough time handling it, but it does get over the net. Westerly, in turn, hits it out of bounds. That will be a Central Falls point. Side change, number 35 will take over for Central Falls. The score 4-4. And the serve, a nice one. Bumps by Westerly and then dumped over to the open spot. It is good. Point Westerly. Quick side change. And they will take over service. Beauty by Westerly. Serving will be Sid Hake for Westerly, number 7. With a 5-4 lead. And the overhand serve doesn't quite make it. That's going to tie things up at 5-5. It is going to be a side out, and number 22 will take the helm for the Warriors, mid-court. And the referee's whistle. We are tied here 5-5 in the first out of the best of 3. And that serve isn't going to make it. That is going to break the tie, giving Westerly a 6-5 lead, and more importantly, service again. And that is Lee Vetolino at the service for Westerly. And it's a beauty. Somewhat handled by Central Falls, not really out of bounds, and that is an ace for Westerly. And a 7-5 lead. And that is Kaylee Lamb at the service. And there's an infraction called by the official, and Westerly will lose service. Too many players too close to the net upon service. The score 7-6, and number 10 will take service for the Warriors. An attacking type serve. She stepped too far across the line. That will be Westerly's point, and we'll take over service. 8-6, the Bulldogs lead, and we have our first time out of the day, I believe. No, it may just be a substitution. Sophia Martino will take a break. Lily Vetolino will return. And Lily Vetolino will take over service for the Bulldogs, who are leading by 2. And it's a beauty. Knuckleball just dumped back over by Central Falls. Unfortunately, Westerly hit the net. 2 hits by Westerly, and that point will go to Central Falls, and they will regain service. The score 8-7 Westerly. Number 36 will serve for the Warriors. Westerly again in their 3-2-1 defense. And the serve is not going to make it for Central Falls, giving Westerly a 9-7 lead, and the serve. And I believe it's Megan Cavallo with the serve, and it is a beauty on the side, bumped by Central Falls, and the attempted dump over by number 15 doesn't make it. Again, Central Falls unable to get into any kind of an offense thus far this entire match. It's just pretty much a matter of keeping it in the air and dumping it back over. Westerly holds only a 3-point lead at the moment, but has been much more fundamental in their attack. And that serves a beauty if it stays in, and they were saved by Central Falls' attempt. That would have been out of bounds. Central Falls kept it alive and was unable to return, making the score 11-7 Westerly. Megan Cavallo looking for her 3rd straight point at service. Very difficult serve to handle, down the middle, deep middle knuckleball. Not handled well by the first 2, but dumped over well on the 3rd hit. Westerly with the set. Number 7 hits the net and is out of bounds. Central Falls will take over. The score 11-8. And we have number 51 serving for Central Falls. Substitution, number 22 in, number 31 taking a break. The score is 11-8 Bulldogs. And the serve is not going to make it. That is going to make the score 12-8. Bulldogs will take over serve. And it is going to be number 24, Emma Caracciolo. The serve, a missile just a bit low, hits the net. Central Falls will take over the serve, and the score remains 12-9 Bulldogs. will have maintained an advantage throughout this first game, however, not much for comfort. One good set of serves can turn this around very quickly. Number 15, her second opportunity serving for the game, and she serves it out of bounds in our direction. Gives us a 13-9 lead and takes over the serve. Mariana Mancini serving for Westerly, the lefty. It's a beauty. It drops in the middle of the fall with a bump. 35 with a set. Number 10 with a spike attempt, and it falls inbounds. That was their first setup of offense all game with the traditional bump set spike. Number 10 did a beautiful job of keeping it inbounds where Westerly wasn't. The score 13-10 Westerly. And number 35 getting set to serve for Central Falls. This is the first of best of 3. Games to 25, win by 2. Number 35 serve. Sidewinder, Wesley does not handle it. It is an ace, and it is point number 11 for the Warriors. The score 13-11. Wesley spreading out his front line a little bit, but it's still in a 3-2-1. Number 35 looking for 2 in a row. The serve, a beauty deep, handled by Wesley's deep row. Bump, they're going to have to dump it over. Number 2 is able to do that, and there are no Central Falls players in the area. I have read online they call that a campfire. 3 or 4 players in a circle, and the ball lands in the middle. I'm learning my terms as we go. I was waiting for that opportunity. The score, 14-11 Westerly. And the serve just over the net, a beauty, and that is an ace. And that makes the score 15-11. Number 25, Elena Fazaro. And a timeout on the floor. Central Falls, the score, Westerly Bulldogs 15, Central Falls Warriors 11. And we are going to go to a brief commercial. And we are back, and Elena Fazaro is ready for service for the Bulldogs, who hold a 4-point lead. And Central Falls in a 3-1-2 defense. Players receiving instruction by the officials on the court. I'm not sure in relevance to what at the moment. Wesley will get the serve. Again, Elena Fazaro is now ready. And the serve is a beauty in play. Hit into the net by Central Falls, not handled. That's an ace, and that is going to be point number 16 for the Bulldogs. Central Falls looks a little confused at the moment. They're not really in rhythm at all. Wesley's got a lot more emotion going on their side right now as their varsity teammates cheer loudly. And that serve is going to fall short, giving the Warriors their 12th point, 16-12 Westerly. And the Warriors number 22 will take over midcourt with the serve. And the Bulldogs with the substitution. The referee blows the whistle. And the serve is not going to make it. That gives Wesley their 17th point, another side out. Neither team can get into much of a rhythm right now, kind of just stumbling forward. 17-12. Wesley has outplayed their opponent. Still a little confusion on the court. I'm not sure what is delaying the serve, and now the official blows the whistle, and we're off. And the serve is a beauty. It's a missile right in the middle of the floor. That's tough to defense at any level, and that is an ace. Westerly's 18th point. Kaylee Lamb at the helm. had success in her first time serving tonight. Number 5 looking for another to add to the Bulldogs' current 6-point lead. And it's a beauty. Front spinning, attacking approach is not handled by Central Falls. The speed and the spin and the location, all three. Kaylee Lamb on target tonight. That's another point, makes the score 19-12. The attacking style serve, the front spin and the location, another beauty. Dug out by Central Falls with a set. And the dink attempt by Central Falls is successful. Dinks it over the Bulldogs blocking defenders at the net for the side out, and the score 19-13. Number 10 will take over for Central Falls, a much needed side out for the Warriors. Once you get into the 20s, the pressure starts to mount. Of course, with progressive scoring, you score on everything, so. Good serving is a must, and that didn't make it for the Warriors. That is going to give the Bulldogs their 20th point. We have a whistle, and there's a substitution in Westerly, and the score is 20-14. In to serve is Lily Vetolino. And it's a beauty. Handled in the back row, bumped up, bumped back. Gonna have to be dumped over by Central Falls. They do. Westerly with the bump, with a set. Good offense, spike, and it's hit by Central Falls. The point goes to the Bulldogs. The score, 21-14. Good offense shown by the Bulldogs, which they have shown all night. Central Falls just able to break the long runs for the Bulldogs, who lead now by 7 and only need 4 more to go. Lily Vetolino, the serve, and it falls just short, 21-15. And before they can get onto a run, number 36 will take over for the Warriors. Substitution for the Bulldogs. Fazaro will get a break. Sid Hake returns. Number 26 with the serve. And it is going to just make it over the net. Falls between 4. You've seen it before. That's a point for the Warriors. 21-16. Bulldogs with a 5-point advantage, which can evaporate quickly in this game. This one's going to go to the back line. Westerly can't handle it. That's an ace. The exact opposite of her first serve, who just cleared the net. The score 21-17. And the lead down to 4, looking for 3 in a row. Number 36 of the Warriors. Stationary overhand, front spin serve. And it's a knuckleball, but she stepped over the line. That is a break for Westerly. And they will have 22, take over the serve more importantly. And the Warriors give up the serve with 17 points of their own. We have Meg Cavallo serving for the Bulldogs, who need 3 points to secure this first game of the best of 3. That's a beautiful serve. Set forward by the Warriors and a soft spike attempt. Westerly is unable to handle, and that is a side out and an 18th point for the Warriors, 22-18. Westerly hanging on to a 4-point lead. The Warriors trying to figure out who's serving. They do. There's a substitution. Number 22 returns to the net for the Warriors. And again, she steps over the line. An unforced error by the Bulldogs for the Bulldogs' advantage. 23-18. They not only get the serve, but they get 1 point closer to a victory in this first game. They need 2 more points. Quacciola with a great serve. Can't be handled by the second hit of Central Falls. And the Bulldogs are at game point. 24-18 in game 1. Quacciola with the serve. Warriors must break the serve here to continue the match, and it's a missile. And they are unable to handle it. That's an ace anywhere. And Westerly wins game 1. 25-18. Westerly with a 7-point victory, but seemingly more convincing than that, as they were in a pretty organized fundamental offense throughout that entire match. And Central Falls was pretty much just dumping it back and forth to save themselves. So if Westerly can continue that, I expect similar results in the second game. which there's not a long break between. They have about a minute, and then they get right back at it. Again, following this will be Varsity Central Falls Warriors versus our Westerly Bulldogs, and it is senior night for our lone senior, Alexa Beal. Central Falls will come to Westerly tonight, seeking to avenge their only loss of the season, which was at home versus the Bulldogs, which happens to be the Varsity Bulldogs' only win of the season. Bulldogs just getting a drink of water. The Central Falls trying to get an offense together. We are about half a minute away from game 2. Westerly took game 1 if you were not here. A best of 3 matchup tonight between the Central Falls Warriors and our own Westerly Bulldogs. At the moment, we are in junior varsity action, which will closely be followed by varsity action and senior night for our own Westerly Bulldogs, Alexa Beal. We are Westerly Live, all Westerly sports, all the time. And Westerly also played with a lot more emotion, as you can hear on the court right now, than Central Falls, who was a little late to arrive, a little rushed to start. It's especially hard for the JV team because they get thrown right into action. Varsity has time to reacclimate themselves. It's kind of rush for the JV. Westerly was out here for quite a while warming up at their leisure, and it showed in game 1. They were much more organized, much more loose. And like I said, a 7-point victory seemed a little bit more convincing having watched it. We shall see how game 2 plays out. I'm sure Central Falls is going to focus on the first hit, trying to get themselves into more of an offense. They did a lot of dumping of the ball. First hit, back over the net. Second hit, back over the net. Not getting themselves to that third hit. A really attacking style offense that Westerly tries to approach with. And the official is with the scorer. Signs off on the game and is about to take her position, as Westerly should have service in game 2. Some final instructions. And Westerly will take service. It'll be Mariana Mancini for the Bulldogs, number 4. Central Falls will need a victory to continue to a game 3. To continue the match, Bulldogs can clinch with a victory in game 2. Mariana Mancini with the game's first serve, a whistle, and a lefty approach. Overhand, and it is short of the net. Gives Central Falls the first point of our game. Quick side out. Number 35, they go to for the first serve in game 2. She was also their first server in game 1. From midcourt, and it's a long line drive. Handled by Westerly. Westerly bump's going to have to dump it over. Beautiful hit by Mancini. Central Falls able to handle it, but just dump it over. And Westerly tries to find a spot. Number 10, Westerly handles. Set. Lamb gets it back over. Number 35 with a dink. Westerly dumps it over. 2 hits by Central Falls. Westerly point. A lot of off-balance dumping back and forth. But Westerly ends up with the edge, tying the game 1-1. Mancini came up at one point in that possession with a missile from the back line. And the service for Westerly is going to fall short. The Warriors' first 2 points call on Westerly's first 2 serves. They'll want to turn that around quickly. Score 2-1. Number 22 for Central Falls takes over. And the whistle, we are ready to go. The serve short, not going to make it. Westerly is going to get their second point of the game, and it's a side out. Kaylee Lamb will take service at number 5. Possibly the server of the game in game 1. And just short, giving Central Falls their third point of the game, all coming on Westerly serves. Westerly trailing by 1. And number 10 for Central Falls will give it a shot. Neither team has gotten into any kind of an offense thus far. That serve is a good one, deep line, handled by Lamb. Set. And the spike attempt is good. It's blocked and then dumped back over by Central Falls. We have a set. Number 15, spike attempt goes into the net. And the Bulldogs get their third point, tying the game. Side out, Bulldogs serve. And the serve is going to go to Dina Arnold. 3-3. Arnold with the serve, and it's going to make it. It's a beauty, and it is an ace for the Bulldogs. Their first successful serve of the day is unopposed. 4-3. That's a beauty. Lily Vettalino at the serve. Excuse me. And the serve just short into the net. And the score 4-3, Central Falls. Neither team's needed an offense thus far. Westerly's serving has been pretty much the offense for both sides thus far. Number 36, right-handed overhand. Nice serve, nice location. Westerly can't handle it with their first bump attempt. That is an ace, and the score is 5-4, Central Falls. And the whistle. Number 36 looking for 2 in a row. And it's a knuckleball back line, handled by Lamb. Set a little bit too far, but Westerly is going to hit the net on their block attempt, and that is going for a Central Falls point. And the score is 6-4, Central Falls. Westerly a little out of rhythm. Central Falls getting into rhythm. For 3 straight. Nice serve, back line, called out, handled by Lamb. And we have a bump set. Nice offense set up. Spike attempt. Dumped back over by Central Falls again. Central Falls hits the net this time, and Westerly gets the benefit of the call. And the score 6-5. Central Falls with the 1-point lead. Number 15, Sophia Martino with the serve, looking to tie the game. And it's back to the deep line. Good serve. Set forward, set again by number 35. Number 15 with the spike attempt, out of bounds. Westerly points. And that'll tie the game at 6. The score is 6-6. Martino looking for 2 in a row. The whistle, and here we go. The serve, deep left, and it's a beauty. Hard to handle, and it's not handled. That's an ace, 7-6. The Bulldogs with their first lead of the second game. Mariano Mancini. Sophia Martino looking for 3 in a row. And that's a line drive, deep middle. Number 35, set for number 15, tries for the dink. Dumped back over by Westerly, handled. 35, another set off the mark for number 31. Can't handle it on the Warriors side. Westerly point. That's 3 straight for Sophia Martino. And Westerly has a 2-point lead, 8-6. The whistle, and we're off. And a sidewinder, short middle, set towards the net. Central Falls never put themselves in position for much offense there. Westerly with a good block on an attempted dump by Central Falls. And it's good for Westerly's point, 9-6 lead. Martino looking for 4 in a row. And it's a beauty. Handled by Central Falls. Not on the second hit, however, a little miscommunication by number 15 and number 35. Central Falls unable to get into an offense, and the score 10-6. Central Falls timeout, looking to break momentum. 5 in a row. I do believe that's longer than any service in game 1, and it will continue when we're back from timeout. Sophia Martino looking for 6 points in a row. Westerly with its first good stretch of points in game 2. Leading by 4. Again, a victory in this game will clinch tonight's match for the Bulldogs, whereas the Warriors need a victory to continue to a 3rd game. Immediately following, we have senior night for Alexa Beal, where Central Falls will head into Westerly looking for a little redemption, a little revenge, as Westerly has handed them their only loss of the season, so there should be some fireworks to come this evening. And you know Westerly's going to bring everything they have for their senior. And we are coming back for timeout. The score 10-6. Sophia Martino, number 15 of the Bulldogs, looking for her 6th service point in a row. And we have gotten the ball, and we are ready to go. Martino, the serve. And it's a beauty deep. Number 10 digs it out. Number 15 bumps in the middle. No one communicating. Number 15 able to dump it over. Westerly with a nice spot on their dump attempt. Central Falls with the carry. And Westerly with point number 11 builds a 5-point lead, 11-6. And Martino is a force at the moment at the serve, looking for 7 in a row. Number 15. And another beauty. Keeping it in with speed. That's the key right now. Number 35 sets number 15. Hits it over softly. Just dumps it back over. And Wesley with a bump, they're going to have to get it over. Number 17 hits it hard, handled by the back line. We have a good set. Number 15, soft hit over to Wesley's side. Wesley with a nice set. And they go for the dig attempt, put back over. And the dump works out for Central Falls. It seems thus far, however, that Central Falls' main offense is just trying to get it back over the net. They're doing more dumping than they are setting. However, it works towards their advantage. Again, they have confusion as to the rotation, which shouldn't vary. The score 11-7. Westerly with a 4-point advantage. Number 51 serving for Central Falls. The serve is not going to do it. And Wesley's going to get a 12-7 lead. Get their 5-point lead back. Julia Gencarelli at the serve for Westerly. And it's not going to make it. It's going to be point number 8 for the Warriors, 12-8. Bulldogs with a 4-point lead. Number 15, serving for the Warriors. And the whistle, the serve, deep, and it is not handled. That's an ace. A little indecision in the back line of the Bulldogs. Not sure if it was going to make it inbounds or not. It was, it did, and it is a 12-9 score. 3-point lead, Bulldogs clinging to. Number 15 was a little bit behind her serve, hard to handle. And that's another ace. Wesley can't get to it. Kaylee Lamb diving dig attempt. Point number 10 for the Warriors. Wesley down to a 2-point advantage. And number 15 putting some heat behind her serve, making it very difficult for the Bulldogs. And this is another one. Wesley sets it. And another set. And a dump. Number 35 sets number 10. Central Falls with their first real spike attempt. Falls between 5 Bulldogs. Third time we've seen that tonight. Twice by the Bulldogs. 12-11, 1-point lead for the Bulldogs. Number 15 quickly erasing things. Looking for 4 in a row here. And that might be it. It falls deep. It was a missile. Smartly let go by Lamb. And gives Wesley a 2-point lead. 13-11. Mariano Mancini with the serve for Westerly, number 4. And she is the southpaw. And a high knuckleball in the middle. Nice serve, 35-10 with the deep spike attempt. And it falls inbounds. Great location. That was a great set offense. Bumps that spike to number 10 for the Warriors. It's a 1-point game, 13-12. Number 35 takes the serve. This is their number 1 server for the Warriors at the helm here. 1-point Bulldog lead. No quit in either team here. And the serve is going to fall in the middle. Bumped backwards by the Bulldogs. Another bump. They're going to have to dump. Dumped forward by Caracciolo. Dumped back over and blocked towards the Bulldogs. Now they're going to have to dump it over. It's 2 hits by the Warriors. Point Bulldogs. 14-12. Side out. And the Bulldogs will take the serve. And that will be Sid Hake at the serve for Westerly, number 7. The whistle. We're off, another whistle. And we have too many players on the floor. I believe is the call, or not enough players on the floor. Regardless, it's a point for Westerly. And Westerly has a 3-point lead. Sid Hake looking for point number 2. The whistle. The serve is going to fall short. Whatever that whistle was for, it has now been compensated for. And the Bulldogs hold a 2-point lead, Central Falls will serve when somebody decides to grab the ball. That would be number 22. And the score 15-13 Bulldogs in game 2. The Bulldogs took game 1 by a score of 25-18. And the whistle, and we are ready. And the serve's not going to make it. It's going to give the Bulldogs a 3-point, 16-13 lead. Substitution. Bulldogs serve. And number 24, Emma Caracciolo, is going to take the serve for the Bulldogs. Starting with their 3-point advantage, would like to gain some distance here and get closer to 25. It's a race to 25. Folks win by 2. Beautiful serve by Emma. 35 with the dump. Handled by Westerly. Doesn't get over the net, though. And the score quickly back to the Warriors, 16-14. Side out. Number 10 to serve. For the Warriors, down by only 2. These middle points, grinded out ones, are really the momentum winners, and that is an unforced error for the Bulldogs' advantage as the server stepped over the line. The score is 17-14. Westerly has been the beneficiary of about 4 of those this game, which is at great cost for the Warriors because they would have the lead without them. Serving for Westerly is Lily Vettelino with a 17-14 lead. And a 1-0 game lead. And that serve is going to make it over almost to no man's land. The dig falls into no man's land of the Bulldogs, giving the Warriors the 15th point. 17-15 lead, side out. Number 36 will take over the serve for the Warriors. Bulldogs now clinging, you could say, to a 2-point lead. Number 36 had success with 5 straight service points last time around. And it's a sidewinder out of bounds. Westerly takes over. They needed that. 3-point lead with the serve. Really could use 3 or 4 runoff here. Who couldn't, though, really? And we'll see who is going to serve for the Bulldogs. It's going to be number 2, Emily Brinton. Big chance here, big opportunity for the Bulldogs, not only for game 2, but this is the entire match. And she steps over the line. Unforced error gives one of them back to the Warriors for the game. And the score is 18-16. The Bulldogs with a 2-point lead. Number 51 serving for the Warriors. Westerly in their 3-2-1 defense. The whistle, the serve, not going to make it. Unforced error, Westerly advantage, getting into the point in the game where Central Falls can't afford that. The score, 19-16. I believe Meg Cavallo at the serve for Westerly also puts a lot behind her serve. And the serve, it's a forward spinner. It's not handled by Central Falls. That's an ace. Miscommunication by number 51 and number 15. The score 20-16. And now every point, the Warriors will begin to sweat. It's a race to 5 for Westerly. These games are 225, win by 2. And the serve, it's a beauty. Bumps forward, set by number 35, not over the net, however. And Central Falls is unable to handle it. But Westerly, with the unforced error, hits the net on defense. Did not even need to go up for that. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. There's only a 3-point game. And that was definitely unnecessary. The score 20-17, Bulldogs up by 3. Number 15, the serve. And it's a beauty. Westerly bumps it over, and it is handled by Central Falls. However, they hit the net, and Westerly gets the call back, 21-17. Westerly will take over the serve, 1 point closer. If they can run off 4, they win. Number 4 needs 4 for the Bulldog victory. Mariano Mancini, the lefty, with the serve. It's a beauty. Front spinner in the middle. Bumps forward. 35 with the set to number 10. Spike, and it's in to no man's land. Cavallo couldn't get there. Beautiful offense by the Warriors. Side out. The score 21-18. No quitting these Warriors. They will not let Westerly stretch their lead. Largest lead this game being 5, hanging around 3 now. 225, win by 2. And the serve. Not handled well by Westerly, but no communication on the second end either. Great job dumping it back over by Westerly. And the same for Central Falls. Westerly with a set. Cavallo bumps it forward. And Wesley with a dink, and the campfire on the Warriors side. 5 men around. Ball drops in the middle of the Bulldogs, up to 22 now. It's a race for 3 for the Dogs. Ancini needs 3 more to clinch tonight's match. And the whistle, the lefty. It's a beauty, and it's bumped towards the net, and Wesley tries to handle it, unable to do so, as number 35 for the Warriors is able to get away with the dink and break the momentum. The score 22-19, and again, the Warriors only trail by 2. Progressive scoring, they are immediately within striking distance. Number 22. Westerly set on defense. The serve not going to make it. Wesley gets another freebie. And the serve, 23-19. 2 away from victory. And the Bulldogs get set. And that serve is not going to make it, and the Bulldogs give it right back. 23-20. Whichever team ends up with this win is sort of limping their way in here. Neither team wants to take it by the horns. And number 10, who's had success with the serve for the Warriors. Attacking style serve, it's a beauty. Bumped out of bounds for Westerly, hit back in bounds. Beautiful job getting it back over for the Bulldogs. Central Falls dumps it. Westerly, 2 hits by Westerly. The point goes to Central Falls, 23-21. Good volleys. It's been a game of short volleys. Many dumps. Timeout Bulldogs, who cling to a 2-point lead. Need 2 for victory, lead by 2. And this has turned into quite the match, folks. We are going to go to commercial. Welcome back, everybody. We are in game 2 of a best-of-3 series. Westerly JV Girls Volleyball versus Central Falls Warriors JV Girls Volleyball. Game 2, the Bulldogs cling to a 2-point lead, 23-21. They are 2 points away from not only clinching this game, but tonight's match versus Central Falls. Immediately following, senior night for our Bulldogs, celebrating their lone senior, Alexa Beal. Again, I am Greg Morano, and we are Westerly Live, all Westerly sports all the time. That is westerlylive.com. Central Falls, number 10, with the serve, trailing by 2. Need the points. Attacking style, it's going to be a beauty. Handled in the back by Lamb. They're going to have to dump it over. Dumped over, didn't make it over the net for the Bulldogs. 23-22. You can see a little of the pressure mounting for the Bulldogs here. Number 10, I do believe, is the Warriors' number 2 server. Approaching the line, the serve, it's a beauty. And Emma has a tough time handling it. Bulldogs are going to have to dump it over. Is it going to make it? It is not. We have a tie game, folks. And the Bulldogs unable to handle the serve thus far, 23-23. It's a race to 2. It's games to 25, win by 2. It's anybody's game here. You don't need to serve to score. A point will be given. The jump serve, it's a beauty. It's an ace. That is a varsity ace anywhere you see it. And Central Falls all the way back to game point, 24-23. Bulldogs need a side out to continue play in game 2. Number 10 to secure a 3rd game for the Warriors. And the serve is deep. It is bumped by the Bulldogs. We have a set. They're going to have to dump it over. And they are unable to do it. And the Central Falls Warriors come back after hanging around all game long, finally get into an offense for the last 5 points and snatch victory out of the Bulldogs' hands, 25-23, forcing a game 3 of this best-of-3 series. There is minimal break between games. And the official is reminding them of that right now. They want them to take the court. That game, Westerly had every opportunity in the world, just did not want to put it away, and was unable to score after their last time out any points. Westerly giving final instructions. Central Falls pretty much just getting water at the moment. That wasn't an extremely fundamental game. It was a game of many dumps and many dinks and a lot of aces, a lot of unforced errors. Neither team's gotten into much of an offensive rhythm. Definitely anybody's game in game 3. We're just waiting for the whistle from the official, who is signing off on the lineup cards. Again, immediately following, we have Varsity Volleyball, Westerly Girls versus Central Falls Warriors. And it is a rematch of sorts, as the Westerly Bulldogs' lone win of the season came at the hands of the Central Falls Warriors and thus stands as their only loss of the season. You would expect them to have come to Westerly tonight with revenge on their minds, and Westerly, with senior night for Alexis Beal, will be more than motivated to defend the victory. Westerly has taken the court. The Warriors in their final huddle. Still need the official and the ball. Again, game to 25, win by 2. This is do or die for either team for tonight's match. We are in a 1-1 tie, 1 game for each. I would say that Wesley's had more control of the games than Central Falls. However, unable to go on any kind of a real run, 5 points being the most in game 2, Wesley just could not put it away. Central Falls' most success comes at the service of number 35 and number 10, who are also their front net players. And the official. Serve is going to go to Central Falls, and the horn is going to go off, and we are going to get started. Central Falls takes the court. And number 15 takes the ball from the official and will serve first for the Warriors. The whistle. And it's a race to 25, folks. And the serve. Westerly gets the first points. 1-0 Westerly. And serving for the Bulldogs, it looks like it's going to be Mariana Mancini, number 4, starting for the Bulldogs. We have our lefty server. Myself being a lefty, I will not forget. And that serve is going to be to a tough spot to handle. Number 15 able to dig it out. 35 with the set to number 10. That is the epitome of Central Falls offense. Wesley with the serve. And Lamb puts it to the back corner. Number 35 with the bump set. Number 10 dumps it over. Wesley can't handle it. Good offense and defense by both teams in that volley. A little bit better by Central Falls, who gets the point. 1-1 tie. That was the best back and forth we might have seen all day as far as fundamentals go on both sides. 35 with a nice knuckleball, deep middle. Bumped, and then a lack of communication for the second hit for the Bulldogs gives the Warriors their second point of the game. Number 35 looking for 3. The whistle. The serve. Knuckleball, short middle, good spot. Westerly with the dink. Points. Westerly score 2-2. Westerly takes over serve. And it's going to be Sid Hake with the serve for Westerly, number 7. And something, never mind, the call went against Westerly, and it's going to be Central Falls. Serve. Number 35 will serve again. 3-1, Central Falls. Bump forward by Westerly, going to have to dump it over, and they do. 15 with the bumps. 35 sets it to number 10 with the spike. Dug out by Westerly, bumps it over. Westerly gets the point. Central Falls caught it thinking there was some kind of illegality. However, there was not. 3-2 the score. Bulldogs trail by 1. Sid Haight now will serve for the Bulldogs, number 7. 2 serving 3. And that will make it 4 for Central Falls. Serving 2 for the Bulldogs. And we'll see who chases the ball down as far as who's serving. We got number 22 at service for the Warriors. .22 serve is not going to make it, and that's going to give the Bulldogs their 3rd point of the game, trailing only by 1. The score 4-3, and it is going to be Kaylee Lamb at the serve for Westerly, number 5. Kaylee Lamb has provided good service points for the Bulldogs tonight, and another good serve, front spin, good spot. Set by number 35 to number 36, who dinks it over. Westerly can't handle it. Side out, point, Central Falls, 5-3. Number 51 looks like, nope, number 10 is going to take the serve back. He's had a lot of success serving this evening. Bulldogs trail by 2. And are being outplayed this game by Central Falls. And that's a beauty, attacking style serve. Westerly bumps it over pretty much just in self-defense, and it falls harmlessly in the middle of 2 Central Falls players. No communication, no return. Big side out for the Bulldogs. The score 5-4, Westerly trails by 1. And the serve for the Bulldogs, deep middle. Number 35 dumps it back over to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs dump it right back. 35 with the set to number 15. Tries the dink, almost blocked, and Westerly can't get it over the net in 3 hits. Point Central Falls, 6-4. Central Falls leads the Bulldogs. A good volley. Westerly just couldn't get the dig and then back up and over. Number 36 for the serve for Central Falls. 2-point lead. Early in game 3, the serve, short middle. Bumped up towards the net for Westerly, bounces back on Westerly's side. Westerly also hits the net. The score 7, Central Falls 4 for our Bulldogs. Number 36 will serve, looking for 2 in a row. Diving attempt into the stands for the Bulldogs, unable to handle it. Central Falls will get their 8th point. Substitution for Westerly. Westerly trailing by 4. Central Falls serve. And the serve, a beauty, handled by Westerly. Set. Number 26 with the spike attempt, hits the net and goes over. Westerly with the dump. Central Falls wasn't able to handle it, but Westerly's defensive attempt hits the net. Oh, the point is going to go to Westerly. Central Falls defensive attempt. There was a lot of hands up at the net, and Central Falls hit it on the way down. Westerly will take serves, trailing by 3. And it's a knuckleball. It's a beauty to the deep line. And number 15 is going to dump it over Central Falls. Bumped by Westerly. A bump set for Westerly. And the spike attempt is going to fall inbounds. A beauty. Great offense by the Bulldogs. Make it a 2-point game, 8-6. Best offense we've seen out of the Bulldogs in this deciding game 3. And we have Meg Cavallo serving. Looking for another for the Bulldogs. And it's a good serve, handled by number 15, 35, back to 15. Sets it over the net. Westerly attempts to spike it back. Their spike attempt goes into the net for the Warriors' 9th point. 9-6 Warriors. Westerly still not be able to go on much of a run this game. Number 51 will take over service for the Warriors with a 3-point lead. And the serve is going to make it. Cavallo with a bump that goes over the net. If Westerly didn't hit the net, but they did, and the point will go to the Warriors, 10-6, 4-point advantage. And the serve by 51 is not going to make it. It's going to give the Bulldogs their 7th point, trailing only by 3. Sloppy start so far for the Bulldogs, but they're only down by 3. Julia Gencarelli with the serve, number 17. And that serve is going to go off the side of the hand. And they'll score 11-7, Warriors. And Bulldogs just not able to go on much of a run. Most of last game and into this game, really. Seems as though they came out hot and have kind of cooled, and the opposite we're seeing out of Central Falls. Number 15 who splits time with Varsity. And that was a varsity quality serve as I say that. And that's an ace in any gym. The score 12-7. Number 15 and number 35 are both sophomores, and they split time with Varsity, as does freshman number 10 Pamela Galva, number 15 Alexa Torres, and number 35 Juliana Hernandez. 2 sophomores and a freshman playing both. Our second timeout of the game. A match-deciding game 3. Westerly taking game 1 by 7 points. Central Falls with a comeback game 2 victory, winning by 2 after trailing by as much as 6. And Central Falls sounding the loudest they have all evening. Momentum, my friends, has swung. Westerly unable to go on much of a run since the first game. Number 15 at service. A lot behind the serve. It's a beauty. Westerly bumps it, able to handle it. A good set by the Bulldogs. And a soft spike. Handled in the back row by number 51. Number 35 tries to dig it out. Unable to do it. Westerly point. Good offense by the Bulldogs. 12-8. Down by 4. And they will take serve. And that is Mariana Mancini, the lefty serving. And it is going to go just short of the net. And the score 13-8. Again, Westerly unable to grab momentum or to go on any real run here. And now number 35 to serve. Also splitting time for the Warriors. And that is a varsity level serve. Set by the Bulldogs. Spike attempt. Deep and in. Beautiful spot by the Bulldogs. A lot of life in the Dogs still. 13-9 the score, trailing only by 4. And it'll be Sid Hake serving for the Bulldogs. And there's a substitution. And it is going to be Sid Hake out. Emma Caracciolo in for the serve, number 24. And it's a beauty, knuckleball deep. Barely handled, but handled. And no communication on what was a perfect set by number 35 of the Warriors, giving the Bulldogs 2 points in a row. And they're getting louder, and they just need to keep expanding upon it. Beautiful serve by Caracciolo to score 13-10. And another beauty, sidewinder deep and in. And that's an ace, and now the Bulldogs are getting excited. 13-11, trailing only by 2. And the ball will be returned. And we got a timeout before too much damage. Wisely, Central Falls calls their momentum, hopefully killing timeout. The Bulldogs all the way back to within 2. A lot of swings and progressive scoring. Not a lot of long runs this evening. First game, Westerly had a few. A lot of back and forth since then. Both teams receiving late instruction from their coaches. Both teams still with 2 timeouts. And they are ready to go, folks. And they are excited. Game 3 here. If you're just joining us, Game 3, girls JV volleyball, Central Falls Warriors, Westerly Bulldogs. Each team tied 1-1. This is Game 3 of the best-of-3 series. The score: Central Falls 13, Westerly 11. Emily Caracciolo, number 24. The serve for Westerly. It's a missile, and it's handled beautifully. And Westerly dumps it back over. Into the net for Central Falls, unable to handle it, and the score: 13-12. Westerly within 1. And number 24, Caracciolo, has given a spark of new life to the Bulldogs in this Game 3. And the serve, a beauty. And that is not handled, that is an ace. And the whistle, and I do believe he served it too early, so we're going to go with another serve. And it's another missile. Central Falls doesn't handle it well. Number 10 has a double forward, 35 dumps it over. And good set by Westerly. Spike barely goes over the net, but over far enough as Central Falls can't dig it out. And we are up to a tie game for the first time in Game 3. Halfway through Game 3. Now we're playing to 12, win by 2 for tonight's match. Caracciolo with a nice knuckleball. Several different service styles have proven extremely effective here for the Bulldogs in their early run. And the Bulldogs set it up, danger by the net, and Central Falls can't handle it. Momentum, Westerly. Timeout, Central Falls. Westerly with its first lead of the night, 14-13. Caracciolo, 4 straight service points, longest run of the night. Bulldogs 14-13, only lead of the night in this Game 3 match clinching game. Followed immediately by senior night. Central Falls Warriors on the road seeking redemption of their only loss of the season at the hands of Westerly Bulldogs. Ironically, only win of the season versus Central Falls. Senior night for Alexa Beal, Westerly's lone senior, which is always a sign for a bright future for the Bulldogs. Only losing one player. The Bulldogs' sudden burst of energy and excitement are loud on the court. The Warriors getting every bit of instruction they can. The horn, and the Warriors return to the court. The score: Bulldogs 14, Warriors 13. Game 3. To 25, win by 2. Caracciolo looking for 5 straight service points. And it's a beauty knuckleball middle. Not handled well by number 10, but gets it over. Westerly dumps it back. We have a bump. We have a set. Cavallo with a spike attempt falls short into the net. Ties the game at 14. And there is plenty of excitement on the Warriors side as you hear it. Tie game, number 35 serving. Central Falls with less total players, forcing them 3 crossover players. 2 sophomores and a freshman. Juliana Hernandez with the serve. Westerly sets it. Cavallo with the spike attempt. Central Falls able to dig it and then dump it back over. There's a bump. Westerly's going to have to save themselves, and they cannot, as they now trail by 1, 15-14. And Central Falls varsity team is starting to get into the cheering. With a 1-point lead, they will serve. It will be Hernandez again, the sophomore crossover player. Beautiful serve, unable to be handled by the Bulldogs. That's an ace. Knuckleball short of the deep line in the corner, 16-14, 2-point game. Timeout by the Bulldogs. And we are going to go to break. We are back, folks, and I would like to mention tomorrow night's football game as the Westerly Bulldogs will host Mount Hope at Salo Algieri Field. We will bring it to you live at westerlylive.com. Game starts, kickoff is at 7 o'clock. We will come to you live just short of that at 6:45. Bulldogs looking for their second victory of the season, coming off last week's victory versus Rogers in their first game. And here we are in game 3. Match clinching game for the Bulldogs. And the game is over. We are trying to figure out what has put a halt to this game. We will let you know as soon as possible. What began as a Westerly timeout has turned into a transition into varsity night. And this is Greg Moreno from Westerly Live. We will be right back with the varsity matchup tonight.